Hell yeah, guys. What is happening? The cap list here with Dota Live Net. We're going to be casting another round two for you guys. We were able to finish up that first game real quickly, so we've gotten another one round two just for you guys because we want to get out as many games as possible. And, holy cow, I am currently listening to my own stream. Sorry about that. All right, well, so we're already going through real quick, though, before we go through the bands picks. Hey, guys, we're new website, we're new casting team, so please check us out, dotalive.net. Please go to that website, check it out. We're going to be updating it quite frequently. So after you're done with this tournament, hey, if you enjoyed us, if you want to watch more Dota 2, more professional Dota 2, hey, we're going to be casting it. We got other casters who are going to be doing it as well, so please keep checking us out. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff like this. Also, add us on follow our Twitch TV. We have a YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, DotaLiveNet, and also like us on Facebook. We got a Facebook page there. We might be doing some giveaways later on once we're got our own tournaments and that sort of thing. We're gonna be doing giveaways and that sort of thing. So please follow us on all those various media outlets, and you guys can win prizes and keep updated when we're casting and all that sort of thing. But all right, well, so we already got the bans. Hari, you want to go ahead and cover those?
Well, Invoker, Lycan, and Furion were banned by the Radiant, and Anti-Mage, Tide, and Brood banned by the Dire. Brood, kind of a little bit of an unusual ban. Tide, maybe not the most common. Interestingly enough, Chen not banned, first picked or picked. Well, I mean, if you pick Shadow Demon first, you're kind of well set up against the opposing team going Chen, because Shadow Demon is pretty good against the push. So I guess it wasn't necessarily obvious that Nice-1 would go Chen, but they didn't. So now I would imagine that Replika must be thinking about it. Strong hero still to be in the pool. Interesting also, they picked the Shadow Demon over Windrunner, even if they weren't going to go for Chen. Windrunner, I think, probably stronger than Shadow Demon at this point. Well, it's tough to say, actually. Shadow Demon has so much potential, and he was so imbalanced in Dota 1, so I imagine that he can be stronger than Windrunner. He just takes kind of a good player, but I guess Replika is confident in their Shadow Demon ability, so we'll see how that works out.
I was about to say, I've noticed this. I believe Replika is former Han players. If I might be wrong, but I believe they're Russian Han players. And what I've noticed a lot of in the North American scene, a lot of teams, it's like 50-50. A lot of teams either think Shadow Demon's really good, or they just never pick him. They just don't really have a Shadow Demon player. They don't think he's really that worthy. They don't worry about other teams picking him up, and they just leave him. But interesting, Replika definitely feeling that he is very, very worthy. And I would agree. I think he's better than,
I just want to clarify one thing, though. Replika is not Russian. They're actually German.
Really?
Yes.
That's right. Sorry. Nice-1 is the Russian. Sorry about that. But
no.
I am right that Replika, though, is former Han players, right? Do you know them?
I think so. Cryasia was definitely a Han player, so I assume. Although he might be the stand-in, actually, so I'm not really sure. I'm not 100%. I've actually commentated a Replika game before and watched them a couple times, but I'm not really that certain of where the background is exactly. So, yeah, not so good in that regard. Regardless, interesting picks. Crystal Maiden this early, kind of strange almost. Vengeful Spirit or Venomancer are usually more common support pickups earlier in the draft, especially when you're not necessarily... Crystal Maiden really strong against a jungle hero who has creeps like Enchantress or Chen, but when the other team doesn't necessarily have that hero yet, it's really strange to see the CM pick up, especially because, now the Radiant just going to go for the Enigma pick and probably... Well, I'm not even sure if they need to ban Vengeful Spirit, actually. I'm not sure that they would go CM VS unless they went for a really serious tri-lane, but then they would end up having to put the Sand King off lane, which is just not very strong.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, these picks and bans are a little bit odd. I mean, the bans were, for the most part, pretty standard. But these picks are really interesting. I mean, first of all, you don't usually see most teams picking up both their suicide lane and their solo mid, like, right off the bat. Just right out the gate, hey, this is what we're running mid, and this is what we're running our suicide lane. Windrunner, yes, is common picked up, but usually you save your mid for a little bit later. But apparently they feel that Queen of Pain is really powerful enough to warrant being part of their first set of picks. And now banning the Vengeful Spirit, like you said, I guess they just fear, Shadow Demon. I mean, the only thing I could possibly think that they would run with that is, like you said, Sand King on a side solo, Shadow Demon solo mid, and then just having some sort of tri-lane with Venge and CM. But, I don't know. I don't think they would have gone for it, but
There's the possibility of the dual mid as well. You could set up the CM Morphling mid or something like this. Some sort of a CM with either Morphling or another carry mid farming, and then put VS, I guess, in the side. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's still weird lanes. I guess you could put the VS with the Sand King in the Sacrifice lane then, and then the Shadow Demon solo top or something. I don't really know, but either way, it would be weird. I will be interested to see whether they send the Queen of Pain mid or the Windrunner. Queen of Pain mid used to be really popular, but as teams spend a lot more time roaming from their tri-lanes, Queen of Pain's a lot less strong because you can expect the other team is going to be covering the runes, which means that her ability to rune control just isn't as strong. Not to mention, she would really just get dominated by the Shadow Demon. Windrunner, on the other hand, has a better chance against Shadow Demon, but should still probably lose, and is probably a stronger side lane solo. So, I don't know. Interesting to see their mid pickups at this point. I think maybe the best way to play against Shadow Demon is to send the dual lane mid, although he's still actually pretty strong against that. I mean, Shadow Demon's just an insane mid. So I don't really know. It'll be interesting to see how they set that up, and whether maybe, I mean, with the Enigma pick too, and you have two solo laners, whether they're going to send maybe the Enigma side lane solo, but it's most likely he's going to be in the jungle.
yeah, I was about to say they'd have to pick up some serious roamers if they did that. And we're going to see Darkseer and Lich, and as well as Vengeful Spirit and Leshrac being banned, and fourth pickup being Mirana. So I really like Replika's team so far. I think they have a really strong team, but we'll have to see. I mean, Nice-1 is pretty much going to pick up their final lane, because I'm presuming that it's going to be Jungle Enigma and just a dual lane at bottom. So we're just waiting on that final pickup. But overall, I mean, I don't know. What do you see from those bans? Darkseer and a Lich. I mean, I understand Darkseer sometimes being banned, but especially since that recent nerf to his ultimate, to his Aghanims, where he can no longer make ally illusions. I see a lot of teams just completely leaving Darkseer completely out of the pool. I think a lot of teams just don't feel that unless they're running some sort of Broodmother or, you know, some sort of hero that's really good at pushing that Darkseer is good against. I don't see him picked up or banned hardly at all.
Well, they banned the Darkseer because they didn't want the Darkseer Enigma combo. They were afraid of the vacuum into Black Hole
yeah,
being
you're
a little
right.
too strong. And the Lich ban, I guess, is probably because, well, it's also kind of the ult combo, but also I think they were maybe afraid that Nice-1 might try to do the dual deny lane, putting a Lich with an Enigma and just having them both deny creeps constantly. It's really strong if you send that top lane. Or I guess you could, in theory, even send that mid lane against a Shadow Demon. I guess that is one way to beat a Shadow Demon, only let him get experience for like 6 out of 8 creeps.
Yeah, I mean, that would seriously put a damper on his experience, and that is the main thing that a Shadow Demon needs. He doesn't need much gold. He doesn't need a whole lot of farm, but if he can get levels, that is all about him, because first of all, that poison is insane early on if he goes to solo. And then on top of that, Soul Catcher and Disruption are just amazing throughout the whole entire game. I mean, Soul Catcher is good all throughout the game. The disruption only gets better as time goes on. I mean, it's a great little, 2.5 second, pause. Not really stunned, but, kicks them out and allows you to set up for additional stuns and that sort of thing. But as the game goes on, the amount of damage that those illusions can put out is just insane. I mean, the best thing that I've seen from Shadow Demon is when he was actually a support hero, and they ran Shadow Demon and Riki versus an Animage, and it was just insane. I don't know how they allowed both of those huge Animage counters through the pool, but it was just insane the amount of damage Animage would put on himself with the Shadow Demon illusions and not being able to go anywhere with a cloud on top of him. Now the Stormseer is going to be able to picked up for the final pick on Replika. What do you think about their final lineup there, Ari?
I like it a lot. I think they suspect the Enigma jungle, so they're going to send. That's why they picked up the Mirana. They're going to send the tri-lane bottom with Mirana, a really aggressive killing tri-lane. And when you have a tri-lane in the opposing safe lane or in your hard lane, you usually want it to be a ranged carry farming because it's a lot easier, so you don't have to go that close to the tower and or open yourself up to getting killed. So they'll send that tri-lane bottom against the 2 from the Radiant, which should give them an advantage there. Then they'll put the Shadow Demon probably solo top and the Storm solo mid, which will just be strong lanes all around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Shadow Demon's going to be able to just fine in a one-on-one scenario at top. And now on Morphling pickups, we're going to see a Witch Doctor Morphling lane with the ganking Enigma jungling. What do you think about that? Do you think Morphling was a good pickup here? I think early on, he's going to get kind of dumped on. But, I mean, they have a lot of stuns. If he's able to, get his stats and just survive and then to be able to wait for him away. But at the same time, Storm Spirit's going to be able to chase that. What do you think about a Morphling carry at this point?
Well, personally, I I have a personal vendetta against Morphling. I think it's just a terrible hero. It's good very early on because Waveform does a lot of damage and you can be very aggressive because of being able to morph strength, so you can dive towers and stuff like this. It's good very early on and it's good very, very late. But from like 10 minutes until like 40 minutes, it does absolutely nothing because it just needs so much farm to come online. So I don't really like it. Especially like you said, I mean, it's not going to be too difficult for them to chase him. They've got good chasing heroes, basically all around. And I don't know, he's not going to be able to do that much damage. And against a Shadow Demon, there's no way you can go Ethereal Blade because you just get blown up if you go Ethereal by the massive amount of magic damage Shadow Demon and the Dire can put out. So we'll have to see. I guess they kind of wanted to have a late game hero, but one who can farm decently since he's ranged. I mean, they just wanted an opposing ranged carry, so they're just trying. They'll probably try just to, I don't know, play for the late game as late as possible against the Dire here, which will favor them eventually. But I don't even know if that's true since you're going up against a Shadow Demon. Disruption's basically a ridiculously imbalanced skill.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I really think they need to be able to nerf the amount of damage it does, or else, I don't know, scale the time that disruption goes down on.
Yeah,
something.
Probably that.
Because it's just, I don't know, it just does an insane amount. But looks like we're going to see Nice-1 pretty much grouping up S5, clearing out their jungle, trying to see if they can get some sort of pick here. But I don't know, normally in this sort of case, you would try and be a little bit sneakier, try and group up and hug the trees as much as possible and have Witch Doctor pop out first with that stun. But they were able to clear out their jungle and hopefully be able to keep away the ward from their pull. Hopefully they'll be able to stop that because Enigma really needs as much creep camps as humanly possible. And if they're able to, if you know the one spot where you got it right there, if they can post that ward spot right there, which both sees the bottom rune spot and also counters this camp, it's really good. And then of course the traditional, putting in the trees and blocking off that camp. That can just absolutely destroy an Enigma. And what it really does is it forces him, the only time he's able to farm anywhere close to the lane is on that camp. And so it really completely destroys him for ganking purposes because he's never near the lane pretty much. Unless he's doing that one camp, which is a very limited amount of time, and you'll see him from the ward over there. It's just, you know when he's about to gank, and once that time is passed, and once he goes back to his other lanes, his other camps over here, he just, you just go really aggressive once again. So I really think this tri lane is really going to pay off. Unfortunately, they didn't ward the spots like I was hoping. But it's still, like you said, a really aggressive tri lane is going to be very hard. But fortunately, they do have two range. I mean, a Morphling and a Witch Doctor is going to be kind of hard, especially with the Cask. It's just very, very good against diving heroes. If you ever get a combo like that, it's just absolutely disrupting. Meanwhile, at top, I think we both agree that Shadow Demon is going to be the winner in this lane. I mean, really, in any sort of one-on-one situation, Shadow Demon is just able to clean up heroes, especially squishy ones with no real blink at all. It's just so tough to try and lane against him. I mean, anytime he goes wind run, he just disrupts him and then throws another Shadow Poison on him and just takes huge amount of damage. And then middle, of course, Queen of Pain is going to be able to have the advantage of having rune control, because I really don't foresee a whole lot of rune control coming out from Nice-1. I think they're going to have very static lanes.
You mean from Replika? Because Queen of Pain would benefit if Replika did.
Yeah, sorry. I'm all over the place, aren't I?
But yeah, I understand. That is actually the one good thing for Nice-1 about the fact that they're going tri-lane against, well, in theory, dual lane +1 from the jungle, is that Queen of Pain will be able to rune control, but she is going to certainly get beat basically from the storm. It's going to rely on her runes to have a chance to stand in this lane. So really, all three lanes are going to favor Replika at this point, at least until Queen of Pain can set something up with a good rune, or until Enigma can come get a gank. And that is actually why they placed the ward where they placed it. I mean, the kind of standard spot. It's just so that they can see if the Enigma comes, because, I mean, look at the way the lane dynamic is right now. The Radiant is basically completely out of the lane, barely even getting experience. Now they're actually not even getting experience, and definitely not farming at all. So and I missed first blood mid.
Yeah, Stormspear was able to pick that up. He got a second level of electrical vortex, in which is able to disable him. And there goes another kill. Replika is just on top of that, is picking up the first two kills in both their solo lanes. That is just huge. I mean, that just means from here on out, unless Queen of Pain gets some really magical rune, she's just going to get crushed from here on out in middle. Stormspear at level 5 and she's only level 3. Yeah, that's huge. But at bottom, disrupting the pull a little bit, Sand King kind of revealing it. Enigma's going to be able to come in now. they're trying to get a double pull. Witch Doctor just ate through the trees. He's going to be able to pull the golems here shortly. And really, there's not a whole lot they can do. I mean, they're now coming in. They just pushed the creep wave, so now they're going to be able to come in and maybe pick off a hero that's going to be depend heavily on an arrow. But unfortunately, a range creep spies them out. And there's going to be no surprise arrow or anything like that. So nice little pull, double pull coming out from Nice-1. That's definitely going to help their experience because, like you said, they are just getting kind of crushed in every single lane, especially bottom. They're kind of getting forced out. I mean, they can come in pretty much every single time a creep dies and try and pick up the experience, but they can't really pick up a whole lot of gold. I mean, the combo of 3 stuns in a row is just too much to handle at this point.
Yeah, the Enigma, it's actually too late to see now, but he did go Malefice at level 3 rather than another point in conversions. Obviously, if you're looking to farm faster, you'll usually go level 2 conversions at level 3, but they understood the gravity of the situation, of how disadvantaged they are in this bottom lane, so he did go for the Malefice with the hopes of getting a pick off, but it didn't really pan out. They weren't able to set anything up, partially thanks to the wards, and partially thanks to the good movement from Replika supports into the woods. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and speaking of the Storms build, the Storm going pretty much the standard build, maxing Electric Vortex first, just getting the 3 points in it because that's enough to pull the enemy hero into the Static Remnant. It'll be interesting to see whether he decides to go the Overload build or the Max Static Remnant build. But Enigma is going to come in now with Max and Eidolons, and we'll see if they can get a kill bottom.
Yeah, we got a ton of light on to be able to do a lot of damage, but the cast has already been thrown in. Witch Doctor, complete miscommunication, huge miscommunication. They're going to be able to pick up that kill very easily. Enigma's like, he knew he wasn't be able to get a stun off. They already threw the cast, and he was like, no, I got to go back and just be able to try and farm against Sand King, trying to throw a stun, but misses that one. And yeah, Witch Doctor just kept running forward. I don't know if he just lost control of his hero, but that was really a very unfortunate because now they're losing bottom even harder, and I think the only point that's really going to save that lane is a huge black hole. That's the only thing that I could possibly see is saving this lane. Is once he hits level 6, Enigma hits level 6, if he can hit some sort of huge black hole and sort of, save, this lane that's just getting absolutely crushed. I mean, you look at the gold lead, it's already pretty much 1,500, 6 minutes in. They're going to try and hunt this Enigma now. Level 3 stun, though, is too short, and they're not going to be able to pick up that. But, yeah, it's just all around. Every single lane, like you said, they're absolutely getting crushed. I mean, top now, right now, he's taking a lot of damage. He's going to be able to get another Shadow Poison, and that's going to be it. Purge goes off, and there it goes. Windrunner goes down. Now an Invis rune being picked up by the Storm Spirit. And with level 7, he is easily going to be able to take control of the map and the runes. Now that he has that level 6, he has his ultimate. And Queen of Pain just not really going to be able to do a whole lot now. I mean, she died once middle, and then she didn't really do anything with the runes that she got. She didn't pick up any kills. She wasn't able to gank a whole lot. So now it's just, now I don't see any real hope for Nice-1 until they just really statically try and farm and keep pushes back as much as possible and avoid team fights. Meanwhile, at bottom, Witch Doctor going to get caught out here, easily going to be able to pick up this kill. Not even sure if the arrows was necessary, but a Windrunner teleporting in. They're going to try and pick up a Sand King kill now. Malefice going off. Sand King, nice little invis, and they don't have any counter. Nice black hole coming in. They're going to be able to pick up this kill. No, he misses the power shot, but it picks up the Eidolons, get back kill. Now more flanks coming in. He's going to be able to try and grab the Crystal Maiden. No, he jumps back for the Mirana. Nice shackle shot all around. So, all right, so there we have a little bit of a hope for Nice-1. Nice little gank from the Windrunner. They knew their lanes. I mean, she can't survive at top, and really bottom was losing so hard. So I think it was a very wise decision having her come bottom and have that perform that gank.
Yeah, she actually missed the first power shot, unfortunately. Otherwise, it might have gone even a little bit better for him. She got this nice shackle shot to the trees on the Sand King, but then didn't actually. She attacked first, I think, or just missed the power shot. I don't remember exactly, but I remember that she missed it, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, it still worked out anyway. But now they have to use the black hole, which, like you were saying, was probably the one thing that they could count on to maybe regain a little momentum in this game. And now that that's down, they're basically just going to have to get back to the position of bending over and taking it from Replika for another 2 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking at the CS even, Queen of Pain is 36-3. Actually, at bottom, they're going to try and jump in on this Morphling. Morph the stats. Waveform goes off. They're not going to be able to pick that up. Sia barely missing out on that nuke. Oh no, Shackle shot. Windrunner coming in for another kill at bottom. Great job. Meanwhile, at top, looks like Queen of Pain's going to be able to pick up a regen, but really, Shadow Demon's just too strong at this point. I mean, looking at the CS, 49 and 19 by the Shadow Demon, 8 minutes in. He's doing a great job CSing. Even in Storm Spirits, 43 and 10. And, respectively, Windrunner has 17 and 5 CS. He's just getting crushed. I mean, he's able to perform these ganks, and that is pretty much the only salvaging that they have. But he just got crushed so hard at top. And I wonder, do you think they should have switched up the lanes? Should they had Windrunner try and go bottom, just have some sort of offensive jungle? Because really, as I see it, their lanes just there was no way they were going to be able to win this.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised that they didn't. Oh wait, actually Shadow Demon going to maybe try going on this Windrunner here. Does get the Purge off, so he's going to actually go for it. The Shackle Shot doesn't hit, which is going to mean that this Windrunner is going to die when the Purge goes off. Yep, that's going to be enough just to kill her. Queen of Pain is going to blink in and maybe try to do something on the Shadow Demon. She does have her ult, so she should actually be able to kill him. Disruption not going to be up for another 8 seconds. Ult hits, not quite enough damage yet. He's just so tanky with those strength threads up, but Queen of Pain is going to find... Oh my god, no! Queen of Pain does get the kill before dying. But meanwhile, action going on bottom, they actually did dive the Morphling and took him out down at the tower. What I wanted to say was, I was actually really surprised that the Radiant didn't kind of... Oh, well, looks like there's going to be TPs coming in here, so maybe a little bit more action. No, the Dire's going to back off, and there's not going to be a cast to catch. Yeah, so as I was saying, the Dire kind of predicted what the Radiant's lanes were, but I would have had to imagine, as the Radiant, I would have expected what the Dire was going to do to counter my lanes, and maybe tried to, kind of outgame them a little bit and put the dual lane top. Because, yeah, if you'd put the dual lane top with the Witch Doctor and Morphling up there, the Morphling actually would have farmed quite well. The Witch Doctor could harass back the Shadow Demon on a lane like that, or at least harass him decently, especially if you get a pull from the strong camps. And, I mean, yeah, the Windrunner would have been in the same situation that their dual lane was bottom. The only problem then is that the Enigma would have a much harder time in the jungle, because the two supports from the Dire would have been able to roam through there and probably pick him off, but you could have even sent him up to the Dire jungle. So yeah, I would have switched the lanes up, personally.
Yeah, I agree, and I know how disconcerting it can be when you expect certain lanes, especially if you're a Replika. If you expected that sort of lane and there was complete change up, I mean, then you have to make the decision. Do we switch the lanes? That's a lot of time spent and a lot of gold spent when they could just switch it right back. I mean, you could play the chase game where you just keep going back and forth, but that's just so much gold and time wasted. You just can't really do that. And so then instead you have to just pretty much sacrifice down lanes. The Shadow Demon picks up the kill, a top tower kill, and now he's going to be jumping on. Purge goes off. He's going to be able to hit up a couple more poisons. Look at just combination and poison. There it goes. One more hit. Nice job. This Cry-Edge is just hitting every single shadow poison easily. I mean, he's level 11 now. He's going to be able to pick up mech within no time, and he's just crushing everybody he runs into. And that's what a Soul Catcher plus level 4 poison does. A 50% extra damage, and now he's jumping on this Windrunner. He does a huge amount of damage with that, but he's not going to be able to pick up the kill. But, Arrow.
Dormiz.
Oh, man. Windrunner goes down. Nice play by Storm Spirit coming in from behind.
Yeah, this Shadow Demon is just too strong now. They just, it wasn't a good situation for them to leave him alone at this top lane for so long. And, I mean, even though he's not a carry, he's definitely a mid-game force to be reckoned with, especially on someone who is playing him as aggressively as Cryasia is here, doing a really amazing job. Like I was saying, it's not an easy hero to play, and even personally, I'm a little bit afraid to kind of, man up and try to play that hero, but he is certainly having no problems with it. Has his Ring of Acula, actually, which is a little bit of strange of a pickup, going for the Wraithband item. I don't really think you need the +6 agility, but, it's such a nice item anyway. And treads, and, yeah, basically has the mech finished.
Yeah, I guess he just wanted a little bit more laning presence. I mean, it is on top of, automatically, the Ring of, what's the one before Ring of Aquila?
Basilius.
Ring of Basilius. There we go. That by itself is a great laning item, because it gives you a little extra damage, a little bit of extra armor, but I guess he just, I don't know, he wanted that little bit extra more. And now Stormspir's going to be jumping on this Queen of Pain. They're easily going to pop that hero. Oh my goodness. I mean, they're just going to be able to jump on heroes left and right. Sand King, he's well on his way, actually, to a Blink Dagger. And he was the support hero, and it's 13 minutes in. He's going to be able to have it easily by the 20-22 minute mark. And after that, they're just going to be able to jump on these heroes left and right, and there's just nothing they're going to be able to do. They're going to be able to lock down Morphling, lock down Queen of Pain, all these heroes rather easily, and it just feels like pretty much this game was sort of decided at the picking phase.
Yeah, at the picking phase and at the way they set up the lanes, Replika just going very aggressive with their lane choice and paid off for them. I mean, obviously, going something like a Mirana tri-lane is not always very popular because Mirana is a good late game hero, but isn't necessarily strong enough that you would want to set her up in a tri-lane just for the purpose of farming her. But when you know that you can use it aggressively to get kills and shut down the opposing tri-lane, then it's worth it. Speaking of Mirana, though, there is going to be a gank coming in here. Almost, it's a really nice arrow, but I've actually been able to turn that in the Queen of Pain, and then it's just going to blink out. That was a nice play by RMC there to anticipate, thanks to the ward vision, the Queen of Pain running that way. They should actually know that there's vision now, and yeah, I think that's what Purple's pinging, probably in regards to knowing there's a ward there, which they need to get rid of if they want to have any hope of ganking this bottom lane. But that's the thing now. Now that Mirana's this leveled and has pretty decent items, she can actually just sit here and farm by herself, and with that leap, we'll be able to escape if necessary. So the supports, like Sand King has been doing, can just roam around. Even Crystal Maiden can really leave if she wants to.
Yeah, it looks like with a little bit of action, Sand King trying to get out. He's going to be able to hit a nice little
meanwhile,
stun.
Though, Witch Doctor is going to go down bottom to the ganking from the Shadow Demon.
No. That's not what you want to see. A failed gank in middle, and then on top of that, losing their Witch Doctor at bottom. Shadow Demon came in for that one, and now with his mech, they're just going to be able to push left and right and force team fights. I think if they just group up, or even a little bit of a split push, they can just take... I mean, look at top. Top being pushed in to the tier 3 already. Morphling's going to be able to go back and farm that one. But middle, Storm Spirit locking down. Now he's getting huge damage from that Queen of Pain, but he's not going to go down. Storm Spirit completely living through that one with 900 health. There's just no way they were going to be able to pick that up. Now, Shadow Demon trying to chase down this Windrunner. He almost has a purge up, but because of that missed Shadow Poison, I don't think he's going to keep chasing. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's just manning up. He's just going to run right into that Morphling. He doesn't really care. He gets the purge off. Now he's going to keep going. Morphling coming in. He's going to try and do some damage, but look at all the health that Shadow Demon has. He's clearly not going to go down anytime soon. Sand King trying to hit the stun on the Morphling, but seriously, what is going on? This team's just getting absolutely crushed. I mean, Mirana's just going to be able to free farm, and these 4 heroes, if they wanted, they could just keep pushing down middle over and over again. They can 4-on-5 rather easily at this point.
Yeah, when it's 4-16, it's not too difficult to win 4 versus 5, especially with a hero like Shadow Demon, who is still so strong at this point in the game. Almost level 14 already, basically has all his abilities maxed. So yeah, it's pretty insane, especially when you consider that he's 13 and the Storm is 12. The highest level on the Radiant is level 9 Queen of Pain, followed by level 8 Windrunner and level 8 Morphling. So just a huge level advantage. Just not even looking at the experience graph or the gold graph, but just looking at the numbers of levels alone. It's pretty insane. And you can also, actually going to go in on the Enigma here. Enigma is going to go down. I hope he doesn't try to waste the Black Ult. No, and he does not. That's the other problem, that with a Mirana, with Shadow Demon, Sand King, and especially with Storm, they can initiate from such long range. And yeah, the Sand King actually did opt to go straight for the blink for that ranged initiation. Oh, Queen of Pain actually going to be able to get a kill. Oh my god, not actually going to be able to get a kill. I wonder if she'll blink after nope, decides not to blink after the Crystal Maiden. So Crystal Maiden does get away. Morphling might actually be able to do enough damage to pick up the kill on the Sand King. Meanwhile, though, Storm being just a tiny bit too aggressive, almost was able to pick up the kill on the Queen of Pain before dying, but not enough. Mirana does pop the ult, which is going to give Sand King the capacity to escape here, since he doesn't actually have mana for a Burrow Strike. He is just going to have to blink away. And that's going to be it. Storm actually insta-buying back, but not going to be able to get any kills with it. But yeah, as I was saying, Sand King did opt to go for the... Normally you would expect to see mana boots before you go for the Blink Dagger. But he really just wanted, like with the Storm, to be able to initiate from so far out, because he knows the Radiant is going to be playing more defensively, try to turtle up a little bit. But just with that ranged initiation, it's going to be incredibly difficult for them to basically go anywhere. And speaking of ranged initiation, Storm picking up another kill on this poor Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor just so far behind.
Yeah, seriously. Speaking of turtle up, we got... Looking at the gold per minute, it's just abysmal. I mean, 214 on Morphling. The highest gold per minute on their team is Queen of Pain, who is 250. If you look at the other side, 470 on Shadow Demon, 400 easily on Storm Spirit. It's just insane. They're just getting absolutely crushed, and they're going to have to put up some amazing turtling, some amazing team fights around towers somehow. Enigma trying to go down here. If he can hit a black hole with his team, he turns around. Can he hit the black hole? No, he leaps away, and now he might go down here if that Shadow Poison had hit. Storm Spirit coming in, easily going to be able to pick up that kill. Disruption on Morphling. He can't do anything. Now Morphing Illusions doing some work. Storm Spirit taking a lot of damage. Can he leap away? He pops a little bit of health and is able to get out. Now Queen of Pain's in trouble. She's going to be able to blink away. And they just keep chasing. Morphling in a little bit of trouble here. Gets the Soul Catcher, but no. Nice shackle shot coming out from this Windrunner. The saving grace of this team at this point. Now CM's easily going to go down. Disruption can't do anything to save him. And now he's going to pick up the Witch Doctor kill with the poisons. You got to be able to pay attention to that, man. As a squishy hero like that against a solo Shadow Demon, every single poison, you just have to dodge it, or else you're just going to take way too much. And wisely backing away from the Shadow Demon. They can't really chase him. He has way too much health, and they do not have enough mana. And holy cow, the ping's coming out on this Sand King.
I guess
going,
they weren't
dude,
too
if
happy.
we had you there, easy team wipe.
Yeah, he said, I don't care. I just want my mana boots, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
some funny
now,
writing
on
on
the
the
map. Professional. I like it.
Yeah, I saw it happening too. I knew it was gonna. Oh wait, actually, do we have an invis rune?
He's
Yeah,
so done for. He has no
Doesn't have
mana
mana for a
to
waveform,
replicate or waveform or anything.
Yeah, I saw it happening actually. The Shadow Demon standing back there, and I knew after the one stack on the Witch Doctor, he was going to go for another stack. And I was thinking, okay, this Witch Doctor, obviously he knows that the kill is done. He can just get out of there. He just needs to move and try to dodge his next Shadow Poison. But he just stood there, clumped up with the other heroes, and just asking to die to the Shadow Poison. So yeah, just not a lot of awareness there. But I mean, I guess at this point they were just so focused on the kill that I don't know. And it's tough to play against a Shadow Demon. I mean, he can kill you from such a long range, and especially as the fights go long like this. Oh, Sand King gonna get a big epicenter burrow strike on this Queen of Pain. You're gonna follow up with an arrow. It's gonna be an easy kill on the Queen of Pain. Nice setup there by the Sand King, waiting on top of the hill as the Mirana forced the Queen of Pain back.
I was really hoping Queen of Pain would blink away right as that epicenter was going off. I was really hoping just to see a Sand King just completely miss. Just blink on nothing, pretty much. Mirana, though, is taking a lot of damage. Maybe a nuke might be able to finish her off. No! The power shot completely misses. She runs right to dodge that. Nice play. Purge going off onto the Witch Doctor. Shadow Demon just disabling the team left and right. Now Sand King's going to be able to come in and pick up that Witch Doctor kill easily. Trying to force the invis, but he goes down to the Morphling. And look at this Enigma, completely trapped. Every single time, this Shadow Demon is doing that very, very well. I mean, it's a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, but every single time you see him next to Windrunner, might go down here, takes that last bit of damage, and huge. Now Shadow Demon's gonna lock down this Queen of Pain, and can they pick her up? Is it stunned? Anything? No, there's nothing. And oh my goodness, with that push stick, arrow's gonna miss, and so she's easily gonna be able to get away. But I forgot what I was saying.
You're hoping that the Queen of Pain escaped the epicenter, and that was the last thing.
Yeah, I was going on about something else right after that, but I don't remember what it is now. Hey, it's just an overwhelming, huge lead for this dire side. Replika very convincingly crushing Nice-1 at this point.
Orchid picked up on the Storm Spirit now, so he's actually just going to be able to jump in on the Queen of Pain or the Morphling and guarantee that they can't escape. And this will also prevent the Enigma from potentially getting a big black hole, which could turn this game around. Although, I mean, at this point, it's going to take more than one big black hole. It's going to take like 3. But
oh, that's right. The disruption. That's what I was talking about. The disruption by the Shadow Demon. He's hit it twice now. Basically, whenever a hero's next to any sort of natural barrier. Jumping out on the Enigma. He has, huge black hole. If they can clean it up before CM. Nice stuns coming from the cask right before he stops the Enigma black hole. Now, Storm Spirit has to get out. He has no mana. Queen of Pain's going to be able to chase him down. This might be a huge upset. They're going to be able to completely change this game, hopefully, from those 4 kills. Maybe they'll be able to take tier 1 off of that, but unfortunately, the whole entire time, Mirana has just been free farming. She's going to be able to pick up Manta very, very shortly. In fact, I believe she has enough gold for it right now. But maybe they can pick up a tier 1, and hopefully, with that little influx of gold, maybe they can change things around. I mean, it's still a long ways, long road for them, if they're ever going to have a hope of winning this game. But Morphling, a little bit more gold, but look at him. He only has Treads and a Yasha. He's just getting absolutely crushed. Rana might get Shackle Shot. Oh, nice little dodge by that leap. And so that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see those mistakes coming out from Replika and Nice-1 capitalizing on them every single time, because, man, double damage on the Queen of Pain, but they have no vision or no counter vision for the Mirana ulti.
Yeah, well,
Nice
at
little
least
play
it
there.
forces the Mirana to waste her ulti, so I guess it's not that bad. I mean, you'd obviously rather get the kill, but it's some sort of consolation. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be the black holes that could turn this game around, but it's going to take more than one because, I mean, yeah, that was a great team fight for them, but they're still down they're still down basically 12,000 gold and 12,000 experience, essentially, just under both. Yeah, going to take basically two more black holes, I would think, two more black holes like that in fights like that to turn this game around. And they're going to have to wait 100 seconds for the next one to come up. Meanwhile, I would imagine Replika is going to try to take Roche. Beer Abuser on the Witch Doctor did do a good job of counter warding the Rune Ward, Roche Ward, whatever you want to call it at this point in the game down there. So that is actually going to make it a little bit more difficult for them to take it. But this Crystal Maiden has wards on her. She's going to come down there, counter ward this, and place down wards of her own. And then they're just going to take Roche and then probably use that to push in. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
they're actually going on Windrunner top, not actually able to pick her up this time, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, they really can't, just keep getting caught. They had that one bad caught, and that was fine, because they had such a huge lead. Meanwhile, at bottom, they're going to try and 3-man push into the tower right here. Just do a little bit of chip via creeps and just back off and take some more farm. And I think you're right. I think that might be going for Roche. I mean, I think that's a really smart idea. They should really be doing it, because really they just need to ensure that the next time they push into a base, they can absolutely win it. Now with the Manta on Mirana, what other items we got? We got a push stick, Force Staff on and Mech on Shadow Demon. That's nothing new. Orchid on Storm Spirit. And other than that, not a whole lot of other items going down. But really, that's all they need. They got their basic, it really it's levels. It's all about levels on their team. And whatever basic farm they can get on this Mirana to be able to carry them if it goes late, they already have. I mean, they already got that Manta, and he's only going to get better from here on out. And they're going to be able to take Roshan, and Nice-1 has no idea. And really, they can't really go outside of their base. They just have to take what little farm they can around their base and just be able to turtle over and over and over again and try and delay the game for... I don't see them ever getting an advantage for another like 30 minutes. Disruption going out. They're going to be able to jump on this Queen of Pain, but she easily blinks away. Bit of a miscommunication there. If they just, landed the Sand King stun combined with Arrow, they easily could have picked that up. But
yeah,
we've yet to see the combo of Disruption plus Arrow. I love that.
Yeah, it's a tough one to set up. Speaking of the Roche thing, actually, it looked like Beer Abuser Purple did know actually about the Roche, and he actually had smoke on him. He was pinging. He wanted his team to group up and smoke. They had the Enigma ult, so actually, if they just reacted a little bit faster, they might have been able to get a good fight at Roche. But it didn't work out for them because they just didn't react quickly enough. Arrow's gonna fly in, but not gonna hit anyone. But they are just gonna take down this tower. There's no way they can defend this. I don't think. Well, maybe a good shot on the the Crystal Maiden will be enough to just pick her off quickly. Waveform is gonna come out and is going to end her life. Meanwhile, though, the cast just bouncing around infinitely between the Storm Spirit and the Mirana. It's so annoying. But they're going to have to back off now. There's no way they can go out of their base like this. Oh, they're going to go after the Storm Spirit, or after the Shadow Demon, but I think this is going to be a mistake. Storm is going to come in from behind, and the Epicenter is just going to annihilate 2 to 3 of the Radiant. Yeah, 2 Radiant going down, including the Enigma, who they really need for the team fights, and now this is going to be the death of Beer Abuser as well. I knew that would be a mistake going after the Shadow Demon like that, although the Shadow Demon does eventually go down, but it's going to cost the Queen of Pain her life as well. So trading 4 to get that 1 kill on the Shadow Demon, probably not worth it. You just can't go out of your base like that. You don't have any vision, or you can't go out from behind the tower like that. You don't have any vision. You know that the Sand King is most likely just waiting over in the trees to the right, and he has the blink, so it's not like you don't expect the Epicenter to come. What happens is you just get a hero, you catch him like that with a shackle shot, and you're thinking, yeah, we can kill him, this is part of our comeback, but then you completely forget about the positional play, and it ends up coming back to bite you.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. They had the pick. They just, got to be able to spam those, the demonic conversion over and over and over again and just try and stop the towers from being taken. You just can't force any fights at this point if you're the Radiant. You just got to get what picks you can and hope you don't get picked yourself and just delay the game over and over and over. And so now we're going to see the Replika team farming up. Sand King's going to be able to go for his Aghanims. He's not going to be able to pick it up anytime soon, but he will be going for it, so hopefully we'll see that in the near future, somewhere around the 35 to 40 minute mark. Aegis, obviously, on Mirana, did not lose that one in that team fight, and she's just going to be able to aggressively farm. I mean, it's hard enough for them to gank her, but on top of that, with the complete map control that the Dire has, if they ever actually do pick up Mirana, they're going to be there by the time the Aegis is popped and she comes right back up.
And
So,
really interesting item pickup actually from the Storm. He's picked up a Chrysalis. And he's
oh
going to use
my
it to kill this Voodoo Jester. But yeah, unusual.
To say the least. I mean, I mean, first it was the Dagons. This time it's the physical damage plus critical on Storm Spirit, who pretty much all he does is magic damage.
Yeah.
This tournament just feels like hopefully we'll get some more closer games. But Nice-1 is not out of it yet. I mean, they haven't lost to Rax, and that's really the main point, is when if you're that far behind and you lose to Rax, that's when you usually call GG. But at this point, they can still completely come back. I mean, there's a lot of mistakes that Replika can make. It's always very hard trying to push into a tower, push into the base. And with heroes like Morphling and Queen of Pain, especially the Black Hole, we're going to see a BKB picked up fairly soon on this Enigma. He just needs to buy the recipe, and that could be a huge turnaround for them. I mean, a huge disable like that cannot be interrupted by anybody on their team now, that could just be absolutely huge on that.
Yeah, Shadow Demon going for... He has the hood now, so I assume he's going to be going for the pipe, really playing the complete support for his team. Ooh, Arrow actually hitting on the Queen of Pain, so Storm Spirit's going to go in for it. Oh, but the bouncing cast is going to be amazing. Great Shackle Shot, too. Power Shot going to land up. I'm not sure it's going to be an uptake on the Storm Spirit before he blinks out. It's not, actually. And now the Mirana's just going to turn around on this poor Voodoo or Witch Doctor. Actually, Witch Doctor is going to make it out all right, but then the Epicenter comes in. Burrow Strike. Shackle Shot actually latching the Sand King to a tree, but it doesn't really matter. Shadow Demon just melts the Enigma with the Purge. Queen of Pain, though, getting a nice ult off, actually. Does manage to take down Mirana, but Mirana just is going to come back up in 2 seconds thanks to the Aegis, and that's going to wipe basically all of the Radiant there. So not a terrible fight for the Radiant, but not good either. And still just not managing to get the Black Hole, which is what they need the most. So I don't know, yeah, just again, getting caught out. You really, if you're the Radiant at this point, you can't be doing that. I mean, well, I mean, that goes without saying. You should always say, yeah, you shouldn't get caught out. But you've got to force, Replika to be impatient, to force the team fights, and then to capitalize when they overextend. That's the only way you come back from being behind. And I know it's a tough thing to do, because you're just constantly thinking, well, they're out farming us, they're taking our jungle, etc. But when you do stuff like that, you're just going to get further behind rather than closer in the game. And I actually wanted to say something about the Shadow Demon, though. He is going for the pipe as well as the mech, and I really don't like that in general. I mean, it's not going to matter too much in this game, but having one hero with both your key support items is just not such a good idea, because if that hero gets picked off, he's going to die. I mean,
yeah, Witch Doctor easily being picked up by the Storm Spirit. Nice stun coming out from the Sand King, hitting 2 of them. Very well done. And now Storm Spirit is going to come right back in. He's taking a little bit of damage, but he's going to be able to back off. And they're going to be able to do a lot of chip damage to this tower, especially with the Mirana popping her Manta. They're not going to be able to take it, I don't believe, especially with Queen of Pain still being up. Sand King hit 3 people with that stun. They grouped up way too much. And now they are going to be able to take that tower. They're having to back off. I mean, do you really think they can take Rax at this point? Nice arrow hitting the Morphling, and yes, they are definitely going to be able to take Rax once they pop these heroes. Queen of Pain now getting stunned. Disruption right before the blink goes off, but that's still not going to be able to get that kill. And easily a Rax down. And really, I mean, 2 Rax down is typically the GG mark, but at this point, it's just, they're leading by so much, almost 20,000 gold lead for the Radiant. If they can pick up some sort of counter here, Sand King with the ultimate, he's going to be able to clean up the Enigma before he hits a Black Hole, and that is over. That is completely over. This team fight is done for. There is no Black Hole to save them, and they picked up 3 kills easily, 4 kills without losing anybody. And really, they could just take another Rax at this point, or just go for Throne.
Yep, hopefully they will just end it now, because that is definitely over. Losing basically back-to-back team fights in your base is going to be enough to call it. Unfortunately, they just didn't play passive just for a little bit longer and let the Enigma get the BKB and force some sort of bad team fight by the Dire. And so that, yeah, basically cost him. I mean, the Enigma getting picked off every time because he couldn't BKB up. Ooh, actually might get the Courier here. Windrunner's going to go for it, but no, it's just going to be basically Courier bait. And yeah, Aghanim's actually picked up on Storm Spirit. Even know what Aghanim's does.
Yeah, I was just about to comment on that. Yeah, Mirana bought a second Manta recipe, and she just she grabbed it, killed it. I don't know, some sort of weird display of power when you're just like, I can buy recipes and kill them whatever I want. That's how much gold I have at this point. But she is gonna pick up Lincoln's, and yeah, that'll be just that little extra bit. I mean, Nice-1. I always hate, first of all, saying the game's over before it's over. but I also hate the opposite, where you're just like trying to, no, they can still defend, they can still got this. There is a very, very slim chance that Nice-1 can win this game, and it's pretty much all going to be on Replika. It has nothing to do with Nice-1 can make the greatest plays in the world, the most outrageous smoke ganks, and the most insane team fights, but really, it doesn't matter at this point. Mathematically, every team fight is against them, no matter what. And so really, it's going to be up to Replika. Pretty much at this point, throwing is the only word that I can really use, is throwing. The Replika just has to throw, I don't know, push bases one at a time, get caught out by smoke ganks, that sort of thing, because at this point, with Lincoln's now in Mirana, she's practically unkillable as far as it goes with this team. Sand King has his Aghanims now, so level 16 plus Aghanims, that's a team fight winner every single time right there. Stormsphere picking up the Witch Doctor kill at bottom, caught him out. Aghanims now on Storm Spirit as well as that Crystallis. Dan King picking up heroes with Epicenter. Great job. Again, that Enigma goes down before he does anything. Great job. And now they're going to be able to push Manta and Disruption on the Mirana and just mass out their damage dealing. Easily picking up the Queen of Steels. Storm Spirit has just been doing work all game long. Really well done. And alright, well, I'm going to call it from there. Very, very clearly over. They're going to be able to take mid-racks and top racks and the throne without any trouble whatsoever. But we're going to go on to round 3. Oh, go ahead, Ari.
No, I was basically just going to say well played by both teams. Just great to see such amazing Shadow Demon play. It's a hero that still has yet to kind of explode onto the scene, so it's always awesome to see someone playing it as well as CryAsia did here. I would have to say certainly the MVP of his team, although the Storm Spirit played extremely well. I mean, all the heroes played well, but just that Shadow Demon factor from the beginning onward has just been so insane for them. And,
I don't know what it is about the North American scene, but every single team that I play with, it's just like, I'm always trying to, no, Shadow Demon's really good. You don't understand. He's versatile. He can play a support hero, or he can play that solo. He obviously picks up the mech, and it's just a great team fight hero. He just wins solos every single time, pretty much, and he's great for team fights, and he scales all throughout the game. And it's just like, I'm always trying to convince my team, just like, no, run with that. Epicenter going out, gonna be able to pop 2 heroes. He goes down though, at least. They pick up a 1 kill. By the way, Witch Doctor not picking up any levels of Maledict. I saw it in lane, obviously Voodoo Restoration. Usually you get 1 level of it because it's really good in lane, but then you max out Maledict from there. And that was really key in that team fight where they had the cast going off and the Shackle Shot, and they brought them both down to like below half. If you had a level 4 Maledict there, easily would have cleaned up those 2 heroes. But I don't know, I think that was a bit of a mistake. I know the heal is nice and you're trying to turtle and everything, but you're just going to get bursted down regardless at this point.
Yeah, well, and the problem is that the heal, once you have 3 or 4 levels in it, it just becomes so mana intensive that it's really not worth using more than 1 level in it early on. I mean, later on in the game, you actually want to skill more points in it because then you can you have the mana to support it. But yeah, with the amount of mana he had, I guess he figured the fights are over in a couple seconds anyway, so he'd rather just have a little bit more health regeneration, but I don't know. Yeah, certainly unusual in that regard. But good game by both teams. Awesome to see Replika play so well, and it'll be exciting to watch them in the next round.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. That's GG and Throne. We're gonna go ahead and move on to round 3. We're gonna keep following this Replika team. So we're gonna cast their game in the. I believe we're going into the quarter or semifinals. I believe it's quarterfinals. Anyway, so that half finals is coming up pretty soon here. Remember to go on and join the ESL Dota 2 Steam group. Throw in right into the comments the half final winners and the final winners once you figure that out. And you have a chance to win beta keys. So please do that. Also check us out, dotalive.net. Check out our new site. We're going to be posting up a whole bunch of odds there. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. We got also our Twitch account. We're going to be streaming a lot. So please keep follow us on Twitch. We're going to be doing a lot of streaming with myself, Hari, Chappie. We got a whole bunch of casters, quality for you guys to be able to watch. But thanks. I'm going to shout out real quick to my streamer, Crow. Big shout out to him in the chat. Say hi because he's been doing a great job. And then my VOD cameraman, Azu. He's doing an awesome job, and of course, thank you, Hari, for co-casting with me, you sexy beast, you. Anyway, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the round 3 following Team Replika.